David and Audrey, would you guys just tell us your story and tell us about Social.Mom and where God's been leading you?
Yeah, but you, what I suggest, I'll let you start.
Well, I'm really happy that you are all here today. Just want to say that I'm a very shy person, by the way, so I'm not used to talk in front of crowds, even Zoom crowds. So probably David will talk way more than me during the presentation.
We are a body. She's the brain. I'm the mouth. So.
And then you could start with a word of prayer.
Yeah, that's good. You want to start?
No, do it.
Okay. So I'll pray, and then maybe I'll pause for 30 seconds to let you pray. So I'll start, and when I say amen, you can pray for 30 seconds, and then we'll do it. Father, thank you so much for the time we're having together. You are with us today. Holy Spirit, I ask you to guide our conversation. Use us to show what you did through us. And as a body, everybody here from around the U.S. and the world, I pray that you will influence them, guide them to do what you want them to do, so we can see your kingdom on earth. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'll let you pray for a couple of seconds, and then I'll start. Amen. So we'll share our slides here, and then I'll share this. There you go.
So I'll tell you in a nutshell a little bit about why we did that, why we started Social.Mom. Well, in my maternity leaves, the first one and the second one, I felt really alone. I felt I was lonely, and I really needed to connect with other moms that live nearby and that share the same thing that I was sharing. And I was too shy, as I said earlier, to go knock at doors or to go talk to the moms at the park. So I talked to David about that, and that we should have an app to help me connected with other moms.
Yeah, and me, the first and the second time, I thought it was Audrey's problem. No, she's CPA, super introvert, and I thought, to connect with moms at the park, it's easy. They are easy to find. They're the one with the strollers, so you just go and talk to them. But then I Google it, and I found like studies concerning mom loneliness, and I saw one that 80% of millennials say they suffer from loneliness in the first years of their motherhood. And then after that, we saw other studies with Gen Z, and the number is even higher. So just to think that there was that level of loneliness, I said, whoa, there's something we can do there. And then when I researched, I found a very good story from the VA that shows that loneliness drives to anxiety, and anxiety to depression. And then I found another study from Harvard, from the Center of the Developing Child, that shows that when a mom goes into depression before the kid reaches 3 years old, the kid will have physiological changes in his brain. And that child will have higher cortisol level for all the rest of his life. So there's a huge need there. And then spiritually, God showed us that, loneliness was the first thing that God named not good. He saw that Adam was alone, and he said, it's not good. And also your Surgeon General under Obama said, was very vocal about the loneliness epidemic. So now with epidemic, it has a whole other meaning with COVID. But when you think about it, loneliness kills more people per year than COVID-19, for sure. And it has huge effect on the lives of the moms and the children.
So Social.Mom, we will show you a little bit later what it looks like. It's a blend of Facebook for moms and Tinder for moms, but just find friendships. And with an Eventbrite for moms, so we can create events, coffee, play dates, name it.
Yeah. And there's the AR part of it. You know, like AR for me, it's just like a big if this then that kind of things. But the idea is that we can identify moms who are suffering. We can identify moms that would have the pattern of a person of peace, and we can connect them. Like we can cheat within the algorithm of the feed to make those people meet. So, and we are blessed that all our cap table, our investors are okay with the fact that we are investing money for spiritual purposes, not only commercial purposes. But I think the best thing to do is to show you what the app looks like. So let me open Air Server here. All workplaces here. Let me go on the app. So you're seeing the app, right?
Yeah.
Good. So the app is quite simple. There's a local feed here. There's also a global feed where you will see the mom posting about everything. They share their life, they share their stories, they ask questions. So, and you know, the beauty of it is that God guided us to create an environment where there's no bullying, there's no mom shaming. You know, and because it's a woman-only environment, moms are not afraid to share with one another and open up. So this is an example, and this is not planted. So she posted 10 minutes ago, "I'm a very bad morning for me. Just feel like I'm not loved and wow, and not cared about. Been upset all morning. My mom won't spend time with me." So that kind of post, she couldn't post that on Instagram because on Instagram your life has to look perfect, and on Facebook your mother-in-law and your boss is there. So they post here. There's a place here where they can find moms who live nearby. So here for us, we are in Montreal. So you will see that Amanda was there Monday. She has a 6 years old, 2 years old, and another boy, 6 years old. You click on the profile and you'll see the different thing that she posted. There's also the event section here. So tonight we have a webinar with how to manage the anxiety. And so they will, normally this part is for in real life event, but now we are using Zoom events. But the greatest thing about that part of the app is that whenever a mom creates an event to go for a coffee, go for a walk, have a brunch, other moms will join. So it's a very good spiritual exercise to go to a Walmart and talk to everybody, and the spirit guides you, and you know, like the spirit does its job. But that thing is like for the moms that have so much on their shoulders, you know, taking care of the kids and the work and like everything. It's a way for them to connect with the community while doing what they would already do. And the success rate of creating an event and having a moms want to attend is very, very, very high. There's also the chat here where they can talk with one another, and if they want to create posts, they can create a different kind of posts. We have multiple tools.
Just to add that the event section is geo-localized, so normally all the moms in your area will see the events that takes place.
That's true. So we have like the local feed, we also have the global feed, we have the friend feed, the articles, and so on. So we really have like all those posts, and they post a lot. So that is the app in a nutshell. And I stopped the screen sharing. Did I? Yeah. Share this. There we go. Any questions so far?
Nothing so far, but I have a question for you. You mentioned that you could post an event and go for coffee. So the concentration of downloads and experience that you've had in different places, moving from the internet to face-to-face?
Yeah, okay. So we have on the app, just to give you an idea of the scale, and our story is truly a Gideon story. So we have 300,000 downloads in Canada and the US. 69% of our users are in the US. And all the growth in the US, or like 99.5% of the growth in the US, happened organically. We have moms using the app. We are the social network for moms with the most created posts by user per day. And so like there's moms there. We would want a lot more, but there's posts there. And it's really God who did that, because so it's like we are underqualified for what we do, but the Spirit guide us and we obey. So how to move from in online contact to in real life, that's the big thing with young millennials and Gen Z. And I'll explain why. Because from a baby boomer perspective, a Gen X perspective, or older millennial perspective, the way the younger thinks is so different, it's crazy. And I'll give you a couple of examples. The way it works is that they will interact online first. They will start to like a post, comment, discuss, and then they add them as friend. And the way the algorithm is built, your friends go on top of the feed, and then you will make a post. I start a walking group. So we saw a walking group starting with 2 or 3 moms, and after 5 weeks, it became 40 moms walking group. We saw brunches. So brunches, sometime with kids, sometime without the kids, depending on the timing of the organizer. And it will start, the first one will be with 3-4 moms, the second one 10, the third one 30. And if they make it monthly events, mom will want to attend monthly events. We try to promote events with the kids, but some moms like go to dinner a Friday evening only with other moms. And when you think about it, since the dawn of time, there was this select group that you could only join once you gave birth. And the Bible is clear that older women has to teach younger one how to love their husband and their children. It's a commandment. And so it's I'll backtrack to be sure that I answer your question. They interact online first, and that generation, they many of them met the dad on an app first, and then in real life. And that's a problem with a lot of organization. I was talking with the Life of a Single Mom, and moms are shy to go at the event, at the real life event, because they don't know anybody. Think about any social event you participate when you were younger. And like for me, it was like the Chamber of Commerce thing. Like the guts that it took me just to attend an event when I knew no one, and will I just be alone in a corner? So the fact that they can connect online first make that thing way more easy. And also moms are looking for a reason to get out of the house. And like some of us...
Even on the Zoom events, they talk to each other, hey, you attend, okay, I'll go, oh, okay, let's go. Even on a Zoom one, they're shy. They are like,
they really, it's an humble opinion. I don't have scientific fact for it, but I never try to find them neither. But I think moms are more lives more in community as them. Mm-hmm. And they want to interact with one another. And that tool that we built just helped them reduce the friction and help them to connect online first and then connect in real life. Because the real life thing is something that is complicated for that generation. And by the way, there's an amazing survey from the American Psychiatrists Association that says that for the Gen Z, only 45% of them are reputed having a good mental health. That leaves 55% of them without a good mental health. And this is before they started having children. So they need the light of the world, the salt of the world. They need us big time.
So what do you think is responsible for these women opening up that other side of their life, not the Instagram side, but the real side? What's the response? What makes it possible in this app?
Okay. You answer or answer?
Well, can both answer. First, we worked really hard to be them pull into so they can feel safe and they can be themselves. And
Yeah.
when we started, we had a lot of moms who wanted to volunteer to also to encourage the moms to be themselves.
It's a God guided our step because we were trying to create filter who don't have guys on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Mom only place.
And what happened is that with the filters we created, it was also filters for trolls. So when you think about it, the problem with Twitter, Facebook is that you only need 1% of the people crazy on the right, 1% crazy people on the left, and they ruin the party for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't mind banning harsh users. And the way we build the app, we see it as half technology, half anthropology. So everything that we do, we think that it's a mom behind the phone. It's not only code. And with that in mind, when a user doesn't behave, we kick them out. And humans were created to imitate what they see. So when they enter the community, they see what they can do, what they can't. And of course, there's rebels. And that is one of the hardest lessons we had to learn, was to make the difference between someone that is hurt and like a hurt sheep and a wolf. That was super hard. I remember a story. It was a year ago, almost a year ago, day for day. We had witches, real witches on the app, like crazy stuff. Like they encourage mothers. Okay, I won't share the crazy stuff. So I wanted to ban them. And then Audrey said, no, but they have a soul. And then we discuss it. And then we were gracious and patient, but then we came up with a system where, like when they cross that line, we have to tag them as wolves, and we don't tolerate that. Mm-hmm. And there's like a lot of moms are volunteer to keep the feed clean. And also like we have a Slack channel beside of the app. So when there's a mom with a huge need, and we'll show it, I think it's the next slide. Yeah. So here you have examples of posts, and I think they are all recent posts.
It's all from the last week.
Okay, all from last week. I'll let you read a couple.
Well, it's to show how desperate and distressed moms are on the app. Like my heart is hurting all the time, and I'm freaking done with everything. Sometimes death is more preferable than the agony of life, or I'm so ready to just throw in the towel. Please pray for me and baby. We're at the hospital right now. I'm not feeling well. There's posts like this every day. And we just when we showed the app earlier, we saw a post like that. And I asked our community moms when they see a post like that to share it with all other community moms and myself on Slack, so we can all go encourage her and help her and reach out to her, so she's not alone. So she knows that we listen and we're there for her.
Yeah.
So it's really to be there to one another and to influence moms to act.
Yeah.
Like that.
So like,
explain what a community mom is. Who are they and how do they get there?
Well, community moms. So far, it's moms that wanted to help me to encourage other moms and to keep the feed clean. So to ensure that moms doesn't shame each other, that they don't bully, that they hate, that they respect each other.
And they have special power within the app,
yeah.
And they have tools within the app to see the content, the reported posts and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I were a female and I wanted to be a super mom, how would I go about achieving status?
For now, they reach out to me or to one of our actual moms, and then we go through a process with them. We talk to them about, we check their behavior on the app first, mm-hmm. And then we talk to them about our rules, about what we expect from them. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a form to fill up, yeah. And then they have a tiny training, and then they go on. And what we want to do with you guys is to create another level of supermom, of community mom. Sorry, they were called supermom for a while. Another level of community mom, and they would be Christian community moms. And we will give them like the things that we identify manually. We will write the code to do that, and they will be in contact with them. And we would want to give them more reach within the app on the feed, so when they post, more moms see it, and they would be part of prayer group and stuff. And we will cover that in the next slides. And so this is like, if we talk about the spiritual opportunity, it's
maybe before you go there, just some stats. I know you've given me opportunity to look at that Slack channel and the Google Docs and stuff. So some of the interventions that you've seen in terms of suicide, abortion, divorce, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
There's many examples. In fact, there's one from last Thursday that the mom tried to commit suicide, and we're talking about it. I was talking about it on the feed, and there was so many moms that tried to reach out to her and encourage her and help her. And well,
we have 9 suicide that we know didn't happen thanks to the app. We have many abortions. We stopped counting
dozens
them.
Of abortions.
Dozens and dozens of abortion who didn't happen thanks to the app. And whenever that happened, Audrey and I would just cry. And the way, just to give you an idea of the community. So the mom, she has a 1-year-old, 2 or whatever, and she gets pregnant again, and it was not planned. She will ask the community if she could keep it or not. And imagine that kind of post on Twitter or Facebook, how it would go south pretty quickly. The way it happened on Social.Mom, and it's always the same, moms will post comments like, I've been there, and they will be honest enough to say, I did have an abortion, and every year I'm thinking about the child I never had. And there's the one who will say, I was where you were, it was super tough, I was scary, I decided to keep the baby, and it's the best decision I ever made. And
many times moms reach out in private.
And that's where like we see God. A simple sentence is, look at your 18-month-old daughter. Imagine your life without her. You have the same miracle happening inside of you. And the idea is love never fails. Giving arguments and all that stuff, just to love them. And what happened?
And we know about the private messages, because the mom then, when she decided to keep the child, she just posts, thanks to this mom because she told me that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So the idea is they need to be loved. They need to be loved. And when all the principle concerning DMM, to go in a neighborhood, when we don't know them, to interact with him is super hard. If we get them on the app, then like the needs will just come naturally through the app, and then we can be a blessing. We talk about the Amazon wish list thing or not?
No, not yet.
No?
We were just a little bit
okay.
spread everywhere.
No, but we are mixing the question and presentation. Like, was it last week? I'll let you tell the story of the Amazon wish list.
Well, last week, a mama in the app just created a market post and asked the moms, hey, come share all your Amazon wish list so we can bless each other. And she started by gifts to other moms, and other moms did the same, and then it's like a wave of blessings.
Oh my gosh.
I see sometimes posts, oh, thanks, I just received this, thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's really the Spirit who does that. There's also during the Christmas time, they do kind of a secret Santa where they send postcards to one another. We did nothing, we organized nothing, but they are just happy to be loved by one another. And we receive testimonies and testimonies of moms who say how it helped them with their depression. They arrived there, they had no friends, and they made friends. The mom during the weekend, this one, she did try to kill herself, so we don't count her in the line. But what happened when the mom saw that she was about to commit it, They reached out to us, and we have her phone number, because to be on the app, you have to give your phone number. We called the Oakland police, and we gave them the information we had on her so they can do something and interact with her, because she did try. And she was at the hospital. She didn't have the right to touch her phone. She asked her sister to go on the app and post on the app in her name, because she wanted to let the other moms that she was okay.
Wow.
It's really a miracle what God did on this app.
And I'm trying to evangelize her.
Yeah. Now we're trying to evangelize her, because what she needed is Jesus.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel better. She just.
Yeah.
So and that cover a bit the spiritual opportunity is that since we have the code, and I really like, Roy, the image that you gave. It's like playing the air game.
Mm-hmm.
So that we are on top of it. There's like all the Christian on the ground, and we can say, oh, there's a mom here who need a shelter. There's a mom here who like really needs to talk. And at the same time, we can cheat. It's not cheating. We have the right to do that. We can empower the Christians to have more weight on the algorithm. I mean, the world is doing it for the dark side on YouTube and Facebook all the time to promote what their worldview and not ours. And we are playing the opposite game, but not in a fight mode in our mind. Like the fight is and when I quote the Bible, by the way, I hear it in my head in French. So I don't make up scripture. But you know, the battle is on the other realm. It's not in this world. So for us on earth, you just have to love, and love never fails.
Yeah. I failed to say, I did say you're Canadians, but I think it's obvious you're French Canadians. So I love talking to you guys. I love your accents. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, we're shy with our accent. There's only Celine Dion who doesn't have a French Canadian accent, but you know. So yeah, the idea is to go among the lost, and you know, simply like you're going to the zoo, just say that you're going to the zoo, and other moms will come and just organize coffee, go for a walk.
Yeah,
and
for me, I found I really love the DMM idea, but for me, I thought it was really hard with all the children and everything I need to do. I need to breastfeed, whatever what a mom needs to do. And I thought it's so hard to go prayer walking for an hour, or all the things we should do. And for me, Social.Mom, it's like, it's natural. I can encourage a mom on the app. I can go have a walk with a mom. I can invite her for a play date. It's stuff that I'm going to do anyways. So to mix them with an evangelized goal, evangelization goal, it's kind of, it's way easier. And it's why I think it's a really good fit.
Yeah, a good example, I think it's, you know, when we have an 18 months old, our last one, Caleb, and when she put him at sleep, instead of being on Facebook just consuming information, she's on the app encouraging moms. So we made that easy for them. And the second opportunity is to start groups. So the idea is to create groups of moms who study the Bible together, grow together, and then pray together, and then multiply. And we want to create with Roy 7 weeks courses to train the Christian moms how to use the app. We'll cover those slides soon. Here, like we have this part of, you know, if they are called, if they want to be trained and obey, pray, and maybe I should let you cover this part.
Well, it was to talk about the Christian community moms, the steps that we want to have with them. Once they prayed and they know that they want to do this, they create an account and they observe the community. Then we start the training together, which is I think a 7-week training, and we have a weekly prayer group with me and other Christian moms that are doing it. Then after the training, they can go among the lost. They can go in the app, find sisters that want to do it with them, and start creating events.
What we want to do is We want to support the mom, bring the tools to them to make it as effective as it can be or efficient as it can be to be the light of the world and bless the moms around them. So that goes with giving them tools on the app, give them reach on the app. Imagine if any of the moms attending your churches, when they post on Facebook, it would be up in the feed. So the idea is to give that kind of power within the app. We also want to give them tools to go to the media to get the media attention. So right now, anxiety, loneliness, like before that, when I was talking with investor and talking about loneliness, they were looking at me and they just have to go out and talk to other moms. Now they know what it is to feel lonely and be stuck at home because you might have a virus. So when you have a child, like the child is always, he's always sick.
He
so
always
like,
has something.
He always has something. So now they will understand it more. And also, just to give you a quick example how effective we are, like we are blessed with PR, like God equipped us for this day. So I had the ad agency for 16 years that I sold. And when we launched this app, we bought the RV, 35 feet, we painted pink, and we traveled across Canada from Halifax to Vancouver in 5 weeks with the kids, stopping in 11 cities. And we got 65 traditional media articles on us. And that's how we got our first 7,000 moms to download the app without any ad budget. So we can write and equip the moms with press release ready to explain the loneliness, the importance of anxiety, the impact on the child's brain. And now they're going to have an anxiety courses to help moms cope with what is happening. And media will like that kind of articles. Also, we are working on COVID-19 feature, post-COVID-19 features, where moms will select what they do at home, like washing the toys, washing the hands, and they will kind of have this social contract that when they attend an event, they will know that kids are allowed or not to play together. They have to wash the toys before and after and stuff like that. So we want to empower them to have a local reach. Also, we can, and this we will test drive with Roy pretty soon, using the church Google grant on their website to push the anxiety courses or any kind of content that we see that local moms interact with and bring them on the app. And then we can go as far as tag those moms with deep linking to be sure that they are related with the local moms and so on. So, this we covered. And also super important, we don't only see this as tech and faith, like we provide the tech, you provide the spiritual stuff. No, we want to create a real community of prayer that like mom in a city pray together once a week. One mom in each group is part of the state group and each state group is part of the country group. And the idea is to sync that in prayers.
So Angela's asking a question here. Can moms who have grown children participate?
Yes. So the average age of the kids on the app is 4.8 years. So that's the average, the blended average of every child. We are working on a smarter feed. So on the feed, you will see posts from moms with children with age more similar to yours. Mm-hmm. So, we discovered that when moms are past, the breastfeeding and the small pot, the potty training, they are when they are past that and they see questions related to this when it's been a couple of months, they're not there, their interest will diminish. So we are changing that. Also, God brought us an amazing partnership for free with an organization called Kids Out and About. They have a database of all the activities in the 47 biggest cities in the US. And all the activity you can do with a child, with the dates, and like when there's something special at the museum and stuff like that. And we will pump all those events, like thousands and thousands of events from their API, put it in our app. So the idea is to empower moms with older children to see what they can do with their children. So yeah,
Teenagers.
and we had also a couple of grandmas who just like to be there and advise the moms.
Yeah. Awesome.
And yeah, I think we covered everything.
And the anxiety group, the goal also is to help them, give them tools to manage their anxiety, but it's so they can stay together and encourage each other and create friendship within, I don't know, 10 moms group. And they follow each other during, I don't know, 12 weeks, and then they are stronger together. It's not only to give them information, but to help them, well, to encourage them, so they encourage each other. It's like less information, but more in action.
And also to give you an idea where we are, like our average user will use the app 6.7 times per day, which is 3 times the North American average for a social media app based on the report by Adjust. They will spend 13 minutes per day on the app, and we don't support video yet. But locally, maybe in your city, there's not a lot of moms yet there. So we want to equip them. We have a plan. We know how to do this. We know how to launch city by city. So we have enough interaction to show you that there's traction and mom will use the app. But since we had no marketing budget at all for the US, with just a little bit of work, we can get that thing rolling. We know how to get free media, and we'll help those moms to bring non-Christian moms and Christian moms on the app.
So David mentioned Google Ad Grant that's available to not-for-profits via Google. At Shoal Creek, we have the Google Ad Grant, and we already do some internet work through a company called CB Outreach, who aggregates that, but we don't use hardly any of that Google Ad Grant. So we're working on a project to use our Google Ad Grant to create more downloads in our particular area, so we can get to that from the air to ground and concentrate those users here and use this as a tool, to be able to plant the gospel.
And we have also a couple of things that are coming up. Just yesterday, the biggest Canadian baby chain store, independent baby store, will partner with us. And we will have intros to all the national brands that also sell in America, and make something that will be the biggest baby shower contest on earth. Baby shower contest. So that will bring traffic to you, and it will bring moms.
Awesome. So Andrew's asking, is there a way to check how many moms are in your area on the app before signing up?
Not before signing up. But
we can check.
We can check, but the user cannot check.
No.
What would be great is on the login when they are signing up, just to say there's a 345 moms in a 5 miles radius from you. And that would be easy to code. Good question and good idea. We'll do that.
It's an engineer asking that question, so.
Does he have another question?
An engineer in a small town.
Yeah. But I do think, adding on to that question, the opportunity to find organic ways. I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm watching a mom in a stroller walk by outside. The ability to get, for instance, I know that in my area, my neighborhood, there is a Facebook group, private Facebook group that I'm a member of called Square Life. I live off of a small town square here, and there are about 70 households on that. And it's something I could go out or have my wife go out and post, hey, I found this really cool app called Social.Mom, and get an organic movement going like that. Or if you had a local fellowship of believers who use their social media to spread the idea of this app out. I don't think I would be surprised at how fast you would accumulate, downloads in your particular area.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the things that we ask our super moms to do, to post on their local groups, social media.
We have already a document that gives many ideas what they can do, like posting on Nextdoor and stuff like that. Also, a lot of organizations locally who are in contact with moms, will be totally fine with promoting this, and we can ship flyers and stuff like that. What we saw is that when it's homemade, companies are more open to let the posters, and also like the culture of posters is different from city to city. Very, 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 very different.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the aspirations you have for different things on this platform that you guys are working on.
Where do you want to start? Do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. So we are we have many. Our goal is really to be the platform where moms will get the right information on how to raise their children. So the thing is that on the click economy, what makes content go up on the algorithm, that is Google or Facebook, is how people click on the link and how much time they will spend on the article. The veracity of the information is not that important. So we just finished, we are uploading today and tomorrow, 30 videos with top experts with science-based information on how to raise your children. So we really want to, because we see that, when a woman becomes a mom, there's this window of opportunity where she wants to get her life together. So we have to make sure to give her the right information. And, since the beginning, we're saying our goal is not to help moms be happy and bring happy people to health. So there's the spiritual part of it that we did ourselves without any knowledge, just applying love never fails. But sometimes we feel a bit like Elijah, like we are alone. And we want to partner with people, and DMM is the perfect thing for that. So our goal is really to evangelize, and our way of thinking, and I lost a lot of potential investors with that. We say our goal is to bless the moms first, help the moms first. And they are in charge of 85% of all consumer purchase in the US. So, we'll find a sustainable model. So why I say that is that any needs, any ideas that you see that could be useful to bring moms to Christ, we will develop it. And we are not shy of our faith. So we're not pushing it, because even God never forced. It would have been so easy for him to put an angel just beside the tree and make sure that Adam and Eve wouldn't touch it. We don't want to force our faith, but we are open about it and want to share it. So our aspiration, right now we work only in Canada and the US, because what we saw is that there's a snowball that has to start rolling, and then people imitate, and then the community grow and keep this DNA. While we see other people doing things similar to us, they launch worldwide, but they have not that control on how people behave. And if we want those people, we want them to be sure how they will behave. So our aspiration is to become a platform for moms where they will receive the correct information for the physical world, but also the spiritual world, on how to raise their children.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, and it doesn't come without battles. But if
It's not by strength nor by power.
no, by high spirit. Yeah.
Well, I know that we don't really understand the battles that you fought, to raise the money and go through what you've gone through. But I do appreciate it, because I think this is an amazing tool. And I think God is going to do some amazing things through it as we build a network. And I'm looking forward to that training and getting people involved, and knowing how to use this as an access tool. because that, for me, in my mindset, that the idea of movements comes straight out of the heart of God, and it moves into a relationship with our Father of dependency, of prayer, in a sense. And then the next thing is engage. How do I engage a population that is in need of the gospel? And I find that a lot of people I train, people just don't have the relationships with the non-believing world. They have this heart to plant the gospel, but they haven't curated a kind of lifestyle that leads them into natural relationships with people who are far from God. And these kinds of tools, this especially that you guys have developed, is such a natural way to overcome that and to curate a lifestyle that allows for natural interaction with people and the opportunity to share the life of Jesus that's going on inside you with someone else. So I just appreciate what you guys have done. It's been, it's inspiring.
What is amazing with the compatibility with DMM, I don't want to start doing my sharing my testimony, but when I discovered DMM, I saw how obedience is a key thing that Jesus preached. So, like, if I compare with woodworking, I mean, when I want to relax, I look at woodworking videos, but I never did anything with woodworking. So I know a lot of stuff, but I did nothing. And often, like the Western church, we know a lot of stuff, but how do we apply it? And, like the greatest commandment is to love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength. But the second that Jesus said is to love our neighbor. And this app make it easy to identify, find a neighbor who needs to be loved.
Yeah.
And then we know that all the law of the prophets, are under these two commandments.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's incredible.
Finding people who are attracted to DMM, attracted to obedience, go among the lost. We can reduce the friction of that and help them find those people easy. So, we'll pray and God will do it. I mean, God is providing, and we saw, like our friend Hermie said once about the app, Jesus has his fingerprints all over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Hermie was right. So, any other questions here before we sign off? Like to. Well, thanks so much for everybody showing up, being here. Since you're on this, you most likely exist in my database. So I will be emailing out opportunities for this training. This video, once we've cleaned it up a little bit, will be housed on a YouTube site, and I will push that out as well if you want to show it to your friends, church leadership, whatever you want to do. It will be there for you to use as a tool as well. So David and Audrey, thanks so much for being here and being a part of this. If I could pray before we go. Father, thank you so much for David and Audrey. I know that as I've heard the stories, this mountain that they've been climbing has come at great personal cost. But it's a passion that you have planted deep inside them. And this connection to this strategy of DMM, it's genius that comes straight from heaven, Father. I just thank you for it, and I thank you for the connection for Hermie and just the network that you continue to develop. And so we pray for your wisdom going forward, Father. Give them, continue to give and inspire their courage. Lift their spirits. I pray that your spirit would soak them with their encouragement and your love. Father, they're giving their life for something that's unique, and there seems to be no typical sort of pattern of exit. Usually there would be a big, huge paycheck at the end of this, Father, and that exit strategy would be to the quote American or Canadian dream, but they have a different end, Father. And I just pray that you'd bless that. I pray that you would put your hand on them and guide them through this process, and that you would meet their budgetary needs and allow them to to go about life without the constant struggle to find money for this and money for that, Father. But I just, I am so encouraged just being around them, and the kingdom spirit which they exude, Father, is it's contagious. So thank you for them, and thank you for what they have been about, these last couple of years. Father, it's our privilege to co-labor with you in this world to bring your kingdom back, to bring your kingdom, to bring heaven to earth, as you taught us to pray, Jesus. And so I trust that as we start this process and connect people throughout this country and be able to ultimately see this thing move even into the world, we trust, Father, that your hand would be on it every step of the way. Thank you for your Son. We pray in his name.